Hey, just waiting for this thing to go live. I think here we go. Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. Dude, we are just living in this dream right now. It honestly feels like a movie. Like it's just one of those films that, you see it before, and, oh, were we really prepared for this? I don't know. I don't think you could ever be prepared for something like this. No matter what you do. I mean, the only way to prepare for something really is practice, right? So you got to go through something first. Like you learn how to ride a bicycle. You don't learn how to ride a bike the first time you get on one. You got to fall down first. So that's where we're at right now. Like we've never experienced anything like this. Not me, not a lot of people in society today. We haven't really had like a major crisis since the end of the Cold War, which was like the Cuban Missile Crisis, all the way up until the Berlin Wall was taken down. We really haven't had that kind of strife. We haven't felt that personally, at least in this country, in America. I can't say the same for everybody else that's out there, that's in different places in the world. And we do our best, at least I do my best to be thankful and grateful for all that I have. And know that there's people out there that I trust, just like we all trust doctors to do the right thing and to take care of us. I trust there's the people out there that are trying to do the right thing right now. They're trying to solve this. I believe that. I strongly believe that. We will overcome this. Like this isn't the end of this thing. Like we will get past this and we will learn from it. We will adjust better, because if there's another thing that happens, let's say it happens again next year, we don't know. We don't know if it's going to come back. Let's say it comes back. We're going to be more prepared because we've gone through it once already. And hopefully that next time we're not going and raiding the stores out of toilet paper and food and all that stuff. And we're more considerate of everybody, not just ourselves. And that's what we can hope anyway. So, I'm just trying to be here to keep the faith for people, because that's what we need. We need that right now. We got nothing else. If I didn't have my faith, and I didn't have it for a long time. I wasn't always a believer in God. Like I used to be an atheist. I went to church and I just didn't see the value in it. And, my grandmother, she's a devout Catholic. She's 97 now, so she doesn't go to church anymore, but she went to church every Sunday, Easter, Christmas, you name it, had fish on Fridays. Like she was a devout Catholic for a long time. And I used to go to church with her as a kid. She lived about 500 miles away from me growing up, so we'd have to go visit her. I was in Maine, she was in Pennsylvania. So we'd go down and see her. When we did, I would go to church with her because I enjoyed being with her and supporting her, because she used to go by herself. Like my grandfather, he would go once in a while, but he wasn't a dedicated Christian Catholic, if you will, churchgoer. And I always wondered about that. It always struck me kind of funny why she would go to church and he wouldn't. So I'd like to go to church with her and support her, and I'd see her friends and family at church, and I'd sit there and I'd listen to what the preacher had to say, and I'd watch the altar boys do their thing and watch the money tray be shifted around church. And I never agreed with that. That always kind of bothered me, watching money be exchanged in church, because we all remember, like, when money was exchanged outside the temple, how Jesus flipped those tables. It really made him mad that they were doing something like that right out in front of the temple. It was just disrespectful in his opinion. And that's how I saw it. Even as a kid, I was like, this is kind of disrespectful. That's how it felt to me. I mean, if you want to give money to the church, great. Don't do it during church time. Maybe that's the best time to collect it, but not in my opinion. You want to collect money for the church, you get people to donate money outside of service. Like when you're at my dinner table, we say prayer, we eat dinner, nothing really else gets talked about. No negativity, no really other conversations unless it's pleasant. And even then, I try to get my kids to just eat their dinner, because that's the focus. You're there to eat. You got all day to talk and 3 times to eat. So eat your food, and you're not supposed to talk with food in your mouth, right? So when you're eating dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever, that's the time to eat, not the time to talk. So when you're in church, that's the time to listen and to be with God, not to be worried about how much money you brought to put in the hat. So, oh my word, here comes one of my kids. No, I'm not ready for you. Shush, go outside. So they're out. Both kids are outside. They're jumping on the trampoline. It's like 35 degrees outside today. And we set up the trampoline the other day for the first time in this spring because the snow's finally gone. And they are all over it. They are all about it. So they're outside. But my youngest just came in. And this always happens. This always happens. Like I've been hanging out all morning. They went outside on the trampoline. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go take my time to do this video. But I was like in the back of my head that one of them was going to come inside or both of them was going to come inside and need my attention. It's just like, dude, when you know, you know. And that's faith. That's that connection to God, because you get those messages from God that kind of alert you of what's going to happen. And some people just kind of brush that off as coincidences. It ain't coincidences. There's a meaning behind it. There's a purpose to it. And that's this whole thing with this virus. There's a purpose to this virus. It's bringing people, communities, families together. It's bringing the globe together. I mean, we've needed something like this. Honestly, as you know, I always try to find the good out of every situation. Yes, it's a bad thing. Like people are dying. Death is real. Death is something we can all associate with, because there's what, the three things in life, or two things in life: death and taxes, right? So it's like, I don't like the freaking taxes, but death, you know, is for certain. You're born, you live, you pay taxes, you take a shit, and you die. Like, that's life, right? But death is so real to people because it's the end. And people don't like endings. They don't like endings in books. They don't like endings in movies. Why do you think they keep recreating movies of the same thing, or keep extending the series of something? Because they want to keep it alive. They want to keep that dream alive. And if a book or a movie ends with something in a way that is unpleasant, then it just leaves a sour taste in your mouth, right? So it's like, actually makes me think of The Wicker Man. You ever see The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage? That was such a sadly devastating movie with a terrible ending. And it was like, the movie was pretty good, but the ending totally ruined it for me. And I can still remember that feeling to this day, how horrible it was. I never want to see that movie ever again because of just the way that whole movie went and knowing how it ended. So that's why we're so concerned, because death is obviously a serious deal. Like, that's the end. We don't see these people anymore. Like, people are dying. This is legitimate, right? We are concerned. And as much as we want to preserve and save everybody, can we do that? Like, people that are concerned for prisoners in the prisons. I mean, it may sound cold, but are they more important than the rest of society? Is it more important to let criminals run the streets because we don't want to get prisoners sick too? We want to save them too? What are we really trying to preserve here? We need to seriously think about these things at a time when you have something like this, a pandemic, that's sweeping the globe and taking lives. But what lives is it taking? And what is the adverse effects? It's the matrix, dude. It's cause and effect. Every decision you make in life, regardless of what it is, whether it's in a time of crisis or it's not, you have cause and effect. So what is the cause? What is the reason that we make that decision? And what is the ripple effect based on that decision? You throw a small stone into a pond, you get a small ripple. You throw a big rock into the pond, you get a tidal wave, right? Like, we have to literally consider those things before we make these decisions, because are we going to save a few more people but destroy millions or billions of lives? Or what's the other option? I want to know where society stands on something like this, because there's a reason behind my name, Logical Hippie, because it's like, we need a little bit of reason and logic in this time. Like, we need to be compassionate like a hippie. We need to be concerned, peace, love, rock and roll, right? But we also need to have a little bit of logic as to what's worse. Are we gonna destroy the world, and that's the direction we go because we quarantine everybody and bankrupt every business and company and corporation and bank and bailouts and all this stuff, and cause massive panic and chaos because people are desperate. People are on their last strings. People are stressed out. Like, even people that are relatively with it are stressed out. But what about all the people on drugs and necessary medications and getting IVs and getting their insulins and all these people that have regular, normal, lives that are stressful enough without a pandemic happening? What's going to happen with those people? What's going to happen with criminals? What's going to happen with people that are bad people that are going to take advantage of a desperate situation when people are desperate? Is it going to be better? Is it going to be better quarantining everybody, but not stopping people from moving state to state? That's a serious problem, in my opinion, because if you're serious about quarantining everybody, then we seriously need to quarantine everybody and stop state to state, interstate commerce and travel, except for truckers who need to deliver our goods and the people who run the truck stops, because the truckers need a place to go. They need food. They need rest. They need a bathroom to use. So seriously, we got to make these decisions. We got to consider all of these options, because we got people from the cities are going to start overloading the rural parts of this country, the rural parts of the world, because they're freaking out in the cities. So they're trying to get the heck out of there, away from the chaos and the disease and the theft and the crime and all that crap that's happening in the cities. Most people live in urban communities. Most people. So where are those people going to go? Because that's where the majority of the chaos is. Like, I used to live in Philadelphia. I've been to New York City. I've been to Chicago. I've been to LA, San Diego. I've been through Albuquerque, New Mexico, and other big major cities, Dallas, Miami. I've been to a lot of these places. I know the vibe in these places. Like, these people are freaking out right now because they don't have, farms and land and things like that. Like, I live in Maine. I live in the middle of nowhere. That's why these people are coming here. So do we stop interstate commerce? Do we block off the border? Do we do martial law? Do we do National Guard? That type of thing. All right, so there's option one, is you stop people from moving and traveling. But we haven't done that. We haven't stopped planes from flying. So there's that option, right? Like, you got the bubonic plague. We need martial law. We need to stop people from moving around from state to state. We need everybody in their house quarantined. And if you need food supplies or whatever, you have certain like hazmat people come up with your supplies and give those supplies to you, so you're taken care of. That's if you got the freaking bubonic plague that's going to wipe out 30% to 50% of the world population. This thing isn't doing that. This thing is wiping out 3% of the people it infects, not 3% of the population. It's highly contagious, yes. It's highly contagious to elder people who are immune compromised. There's people that are expressing concern, saying, well, there's a lot of people that don't know they're immune compromised. Okay, great. Here's my pitch. If you're concerned with the level of severity with this, based on those statistics, those facts right there, that like older people, immune compromised people are at risk, at the most risk. Young, healthy people, individuals, kids, etc., are at low risk. If you're concerned that you might be immune compromised, you are immune compromised, or you're older, 60 years old or plus, then you need to stay inside. You need to stay inside, and you need to set up in your network people that can bring you supplies. I will do that because I'm young, I'm healthy, I take care of myself. I drink the right water, I eat the right food, I'm healthy. My house is clean. I got a sanitizer solution that kills bacteria better than bleach or ammonia. I'm taking care of myself. My kids are taken care of. I'm good. You need help, I'm here. I will come help you. You stay quarantined, I'll bring you stuff. Those people need to stay inside. The people that are not concerned, like myself, like the majority of the population of the world, because it doesn't kill the majority of the population of the world. It only kills 3% of those infected. Yes, that is bad. Yes, that is catastrophic in a lot of ways, because death is real. Death is serious. But is it serious enough to stop the world and cause every corporation, every small business to go bankrupt, to stop people from working, to get everybody to sign up for unemployment? Is that better? Are people going to be able to get care? for their normal medications, insulins, IVs, cancer treatments, diabetes, you name it. Are people going to be able to get the care that they need, that they normally already have stress and struggle and depression and anxiety over, and panic and fear? And then you add this on top of it. We got to quarantine ourselves, and we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what we're going to do. We don't have a solution. We're going to get a drug shipped to us from Israel that might it's worked on 75, this drug hydroxychloroquine. I don't know if I'm saying that right. We don't know if this is going to work. On a small test study, it worked on 75% of those they tested on. It cured people of the C19. But what are the adverse side effects? And are we willing to take that chance? Are we going to destroy society because of something that does very little worldwide damage? It mostly just gets you sick. Maybe you get the flu. Maybe you feel nothing at all. But for those that are immune compromised and older, they feel the effects. So we really got to think about that stuff, because, dude, we got problems if we're going to stay in this quarantine and we don't have a solution. The further along we go without an answer, the worse this is going to be. Like, food's going to become a problem because we can't get the truckers to bring the food to us because they don't have a place to go to take a break, or we don't have enough people that drive trucks. If you got a CDL, you need to be driving a truck right now and shipping. Trust me, if I had a CDL right now, I'd be driving a friggin' truck. I quit my job right now because this is what we need. We got demand for truckers to ship goods, because that's the thing that's going to keep us going. If the trucking industry stops, we got problems. We got major problems. So we got to take care of those guys. We got to make sure they got a place to go. But everybody else really should be off the roads. If we're taking this seriously, if we're really that concerned, then we need to take everybody off the roads. We need to take everybody going from state to state, going to their jobs, quarantine yourselves, stay in your house. Fine. I'm fine with that. If we're that concerned, we want to try to save as many lives as possible, everybody needs to be in their house. No more state to state movement. But we got to have truckers on the road. We got to have food coming in. We got to have medical supplies coming in. Basic necessities. So I don't know where y'all stand on this, because we seem to be, it's the basic reaction of fight or flight. When you're faced with a problem, you're faced with a catastrophic situation, basically, if you think you're faced with like a bear, right? You're out in the woods and a bear comes up. What do? Do you fight or flight? Do you stand still? Do you lay down and pretend you're dead? What are you going to do? You got to prepare yourself for those situations. So here comes one of the kids again. Yeah, I'm busy right now. Yeah, it's pretty cold out, huh? You know, I told you it was going to be cold. Ah! That's freezing. Now I got frostbite on my arm. Why don't you go outside and jump?
No, we're so cold out there. We can't stand it. We're not going outside.
Are you going to sit with me? You know you're on camera, right?
Yeah.
You're getting recorded? Yeah, this is Kaylin. Say hi, Kaylin.
Hi.
He was just outside on the trampoline doing his thing. So, listen, we got to come up with something, because we can't just stay in self-quarantine for forever. We're going to end up with running into bigger issues than that. So, look, if you guys need something, you need food delivered, you need toilet paper, you need help, whatever it is that you need, reach out and I will help you out. Looks like we got number 2 coming in too. Oh, there he is. Look at him. So you guys have a great day. We'll see you later.